Welcome to I Know Jax, the show where we focus on the fun side of Jacksonville and help you find places to eat local, drink local, and be local. Now in my show, I focus on the important things in life, where you can go and eat, what to do for fun with friends and family, what there is to explore in our area, you know, that kind of important stuff. Now I don't do, quote, real news, but I report on what I think is important. But if you think that I'm all fluff and air, well, you might want to think again. Because every now and then, a few words of wisdom come out of my mouth. No, really. Seriously, they do. Okay, let's stop this and get on to the first story. So I'm hanging out in Empire City Gastropub, and Corey here is going to make us something pretty cool, something pretty typical for a gastropub, right?
I think so.
So what is it, man?
We have a Scotch egg with a hollandaise mousse.
Sounds perfect. Let's go for it. Jay.
Scotch egg is a hard-boiled egg, and we have coated it in sausage and breadcrumbs, and we will throw it right in the fryer.
So it's meat on the outside and egg on the inside.
Yes,
sounds like awesome.
So what we'll do is we'll pop out the egg yolk. We've made up a hollandaise mousse ahead of time.
Okay, that sounds fancy.
We'll pipe a good helping of that on there.
Well, the good thing about these is they're 0 calorie too, right?
Zero calories.
And
They are low carb though.
And then the stone ground mustard.
And we've got that mixed up with Duke's Brown Ale, so it's a beer whole grain mustard.
That's awesome, and that's got a nice local tie as well. That's cool. So tell me what we're gonna do next, man.
We have a beer battered pork belly BLT sandwich. We've portioned this up on a stick because things are always good on a stick.
Everything's better on a stick.
Heard that somewhere.
I don't know. Chef Corey dips the pork belly in flour and beer batter, then it goes into the fryer.
So we'll get our bread going for the BLT, kind of like grilled cheese. We'll get it going in the saute pan.
So you got a little butter in the bottom there.
A little butter in the bottom.
So you're using brie, huh?
Yes, sir.
Making it a little fancy.
Brie is good with bacon.
Brie is good with everything, isn't it?
Not even a matter of fancy. It just tastes good.
It just tastes good.
We don't really care about fancy here. We're more into what's a little bit
tastes
different
good.
and tastes good.
Yeah. Well, you must know me well, because pork and brie, and what should we be drinking with that? Well, pretty much anything we want, right?
Pretty much anything that can cut out some of the fried stuff is probably good.
So what we got here, man?
We have a sun-dried tomato balsamic vinaigrette going on our spring greens.
Gotcha. That is kind of fancy.
Tastes good.
I'm from North Georgia. Anything that's not a bologna sandwich or a pimento cheese sandwich,
That I don't have.
you know. What inspired you to do Empire City to start with?
Well, I've always wanted to open a full-scale restaurant. We've had Epic Burger for about 3 years. It's been doing great. And I wanted a restaurant that was representing not just local cuisine. If we can use local purveyors, farmers,
Sure.
That's awesome. But I didn't want to be tied down to the style of food to be Southern.
Right.
So Empire,
Not just shrimp and grits,
not
right?
just shrimp and grits. So New York City, being a nickname, Empire City, melting pot, all different cuisines from all around the world.
So it gives you a broad palette, so to speak.
Anything that's good bar food, we're going to give it a stab.
So hanging out here in the bar at Empire City with Natalie, and she's gonna make one of their awesome drinks that they're known for, or will be soon. What's it called?
It's gonna be the Jax Mule.
Cool, show me how we make it.
Okay.
And this is local vodka, right?
Mm-hmm. Carved vodka made right here in Jacksonville.
Not many people know that one. That's a fairly new distillery.
They make a great vodka.
Yeah. So lime juice and
gonna be
ginger
ginger
beer.
beer.
Heck yeah.
Gotta make it pretty on top.
Heck yeah. You guys make all your own juices? You do everything here in-house?
Squeeze all the juices as soon as we come in for our shift so that we never have to worry about it.
I'm ready to drink that bad boy. Hey, I even got recognized and called a local celebrity. That was a new one. Yeah, celebrity, I don't know, but local for sure. So Natalie, what are we gonna make next?
We've got an Empire City Blackberry Margarita.
Sounds yummy, let's do it.
We're gonna do a half rim of sugar.
Sugar, okay. So, little tequila.
Uh-huh.
This is a, what's that, a reposado?
That is a reposado.
I know my tequilas. Oh, you got the little pieces of the blackberry in there. Cool.
We add fresh blackberries before we shake it. Top it off with another fresh blackberry.
And a little lime wedge. I'm liking it. I've got the awesome sandwich they made for us in the back. It's the beer battered pork belly BLT as well as the Scotch egg, and we've added to it some Korean rice cakes and bibimbap, which is made with some Wagyu beef, some of the best beef in the world from Australia. And then we've got our bourbon bramble to wash it all down. Right here at Empire City Gastropub. I like to travel, but I don't get to travel abroad as much as I'd like to. That's one of the reasons why I like trying food from different countries. It's a way to explore a different culture, and no passport is required. I'm hanging out in the kitchen with Chef Steve, and we're at the German Schnitzel House, and you're gonna make some incredible German food. I know that, right?
Well, we're gonna make goulash.
Goulash.
Which I guess isn't technically German, but kind of got created in Hungary.
Yep,
Popular through Central Europe.
absolutely.
So we got some we got some top round that I cut into cubes and cleaned.
Okay,
It's gonna go into the bowl.
get to the meat of the whole thing, so to speak. Chef Steve adds kosher salt, black pepper, paprika, caraway seeds, tomato paste, and balsamic vinegar to the meat.
And a little bit of demi.
Got ya. He mixes it well, and then it goes into a pan and into the oven where he slow cooks it for 3 to 4 hours.
So I got a pan here hot with a little bit of a white wine reduction in it, which is just wine reduced by half. And what I got here is about 10 to 15 little dried cherries. We're just gonna add a little bit of the goulash to it. We make a potato dish here called Bratkartoffeln.
Bratkartoffeln?
Bratkartoffeln, right? Some of the words here are really difficult to
I know they're hard for me to say.
pronounce. All it is a local red potato,
Right?
a little bit of smoked bacon, caramelized onion, salt, pepper, paprika, and a little bit of parsley.
Time to plate it up. Delicious. So last but not least, you're gonna do a pork dish for me, right?
Pork braten. Basically what I did was I took the traditional German way, which is you basically pan-sear the bone-in butts
Right.
with a pickling spice, salt and pepper, and then I deglaze it with 3 different vinegars.
Okay.
I let it soak for about 48 to 72 hours. I said the secret to these bratens was to thicken it with a ginger snap cookie.
Chef Steve puts the Bratkartoffeln, aka potatoes, on the plate, and then the pork on top. Then he adds ground up ginger snaps to the jus in the pan.
So you can see it's thickening up already.
The delicious sauce goes on top of the pork, and our pork braten is ready. One of my favorite things is the potato cakes, and Chef Steve was nice enough to say he'd make some for me. Potato pancakes are made with shredded Idaho potatoes and Vidalia onions. That's mixed with a batter made of flour, egg yolk, and a little bit of white wine and chives. The potato pancake goes into the fryer. It comes with a special house-made cheese.
Germans call it quark.
Quark?
Quark. Q-U-A-R-K. Quark.
Okay.
We make it here.
All right.
What you do is you bring a little bit of milk up to a little bit above room temperature.
Right.
We dump it out of the pan, and right away we hit it with some cold buttermilk,
Okay.
which allows the whey to separate from the curd.
Gotcha.
Just a little bit of salt and pepper, and the actual sourness from the buttermilk itself makes for a really good cheese. Put a nice little dollop of that cheese on there.
Good stuff.
Then take a nice little dollop of that applesauce as well.
As a final touch, chives for decoration. Chef Steve was nice enough to make all this great food for us back in the kitchen. We got the goulash and the pork braten and of course the potato pancakes, but he added a thing called Bienenstitz, which has honey in it. I think it means bee sting in German. My German's not good, I am from Georgia. And of course we got beer and pretzels, which you can't go to a German restaurant without having that. I look forward to seeing you guys out here at the German Schnitzel House. Prost. I love doing food and drink stories here at I Know Jax. I get to taste a lot of food and sometimes drinks too. But there are a few flavors that I just can't handle. I don't like watermelon anything. Food, soap, shampoo, anything, because where I grew up, watermelons would sometimes rot outside. And the smell in the summertime was just awful. I hate that smell. Okra is something else that I also grew up with. Now, everybody I know loves fried okra. Well, guess what? Not me, but in Tampa at the restaurant Eulalie, I had okra fries and they were fantastic. And come to think of it, I don't mind okra and gumbo either, so maybe it has more to do with how it's cooked. I don't do cucumber, ever. Well, I love pickles, but I don't count that as a cucumber. And by the way, what is the deal with adding cucumber to soap and stuff? Ugh, can't stand that smell either, man. Sometimes they even add cucumbers to cocktails. I mean, seriously? Messing up good alcohol like that? Not good. Now, I don't like coconut flakes, and coconut as a flavor is pretty common, even in craft beer, for crying out loud. What's up with that? Oddly enough, I can have coconut milk in Thai food or something like that. That's okay. But I don't like coconut pie or almond joys or pina coladas. Now, coconut is another of those favorite smells for beauty products. Now, pumpkin is the favorite that literally ambushes me every fall. You can't go anywhere without running into pumpkin flavor. Craft beer, pies, lattes, martinis, you name it, and there's a pumpkin flavored something. So far, I haven't noticed any pumpkin smelling products, no shampoos or anything like that, but it's just a matter of time. I know the name of the show is I Know Jax, but today we're going to enlist a little help from the guys from Top to Bottom Tours, and we're going to see a part of Jacksonville that not everybody gets a chance to see.
We got started with the Top to Bottom Tours because we got approached by Visit Jacksonville and to do something for the public. So we had been doing private tours, but we wanted to do something for the public. And once we discovered the secret underground tunnels in Jacksonville, we knew we had a tour.
I met up with the group and our guides at the Jacksonville Landing. First, we visited Andrew Jackson. Where have I seen that hat before? Today, we're starting at the top. We went to the 42nd floor of the Bank of America building, the tallest building in Jacksonville. Just look at this view. Next up is the Atlantic National Bank building, where it was time to go down, all the way down to the bottom. Just look at all that brass. That's what it looked like back in the day when it was installed. I asked Gary how he came up with the tour to the vault.
Basically just doing research through the Historical Society, researching buildings, learned about the old banks and the old tunnels, and just took cooperation between the property owners or the property managers and the owners of the buildings. Every Top to Bottom tour does the top story of Jacksonville. We go up to the top of the Bank of America Tower, the 42nd floor, beautiful skyline views, Every tour does the secret underground tunnels in the old Atlantic National Bank building. Tuesday's tour has a few other buildings like the Florida Theater. Thursday's tour does behind the scenes of the Jacksonville Symphony.
I had a great time, so I guess I got to sign up for the symphony tour next. That's it for this week's episode. I'll be back with another episode of I Know Jax next weekend. But before then, I'll see you on the internet. One of my favorite places to visit is the Caddyshack Ranch, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We'll get up close and personal with the big cats.